how do we go about adding logos and sound effects and other engagement tools to our video timeline? This is how we do it. So for example, we find the folder with all of the stuff we want to use. For example, you have to download, PNG images from the internet or sound effects from the internet to be able to use them. But in this case right here, swish, swoosh, and cutscene sound effects, right? So I'm going to add these to my timeline. Simply drag and drop to the bottom half now because it's an audio effect. And then you'll notice that all of these are the sound effects that I've now downloaded and got into my Premiere Pro project. You can find free sound packs online. Download them, drag and drop them straight onto your page, and then listen and choose what sound effect you think will work best. For me, I think this bubble pop sound effect at the bottom here is going to work best. I'm now going to drag and drop and trim that bottom audio clip, and then I'm going to drag and drop it in line with the first bit of text that I have on my video. So as soon as we hear the sound effects at the same time, the bubble pop sound effects are going to come in. Is going to then come up on the screen. Okay? So as well as adding cool audio clips like that to really emphasize the text that is emphasizing the video intro and making it really engaging, we can also add some additional emojis. So for example, in my video right now, I'm talking about the best universities in the entire world. Maybe I'd like to add a few little graduate caps to my timeline, for example. So if I find the emoji that I'd like, this one right here, drag and drop it straight onto the top layer of my timeline. Now we always want to make sure that we don't drag and drop stuff over the video because then we end up deleting the video as so. If that ever happens, press Command Z or edit undo and you'll get a second chance at doing it. For example, never drag it over your other clips like this because then you basically make the other text we created disappear. So again, edit undo or Command Z as a shortcut to go backwards. And what I'm going to do is find a place to add this cool emoji. Maybe I'd like to add it just over the longest word in my intro universities. Double click on the object on the screen. It then highlights up the layer that I've added to my video at the top. And then I can use my trackpad or use the arrows to make it bigger or smaller. Exactly the same process as the text. So maybe I'm going to add this right here in between the U and the N. But I want it to start at the same time as the word. So if I zoom in, I'm then going to drag and drop my object, my graduate hat, to start at exactly the same time as the university's text. Now the magnet tool, which should be on your screen automatically, is great to have on because as we said before, it helps snap it in to exactly the right place. Now if we play this little intro, once I've trimmed it down to the end of the university's word, we're going to get something like this. The best universities in the entire... Now another cool thing we can do is add stuff like arrows if we wanted to highlight something within the video. So for example, I might want to add an arrow right here to highlight, a screenshot that's coming later on in the video. So again, drag and drop it onto your timeline. Make sure it's in the PNG format, otherwise you're going to have a horrible background. And if you enjoyed today's video, please do check out my online course down below. It is aimed and designed in exactly the same style as this tutorial. No nonsense, straight to the point, lots of tips and tricks. And then it also teaches you all of the fundamentals on how to become a great video editor. And I can promise you from experience, it is way worth your time getting a course that's good, don't want to float my own boat, and pushing through with that rather than slowly building up across all these different tutorials. Because if you think about it, an hour of your time is worth way over £20. And so if you can get a course that saves you hours in the long run for less, as an economics graduate, it makes perfect sense. I'll leave my website link down below. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.